This conference will now be recorded.
Hey, so in the content folder, so we created a package. In the package, we created a basic attribute view. Why it's taking much time? Right, so in this, we created an attribute view, something like customer master data attribute view. Okay, we made a connection, right? And there you see the connection. So we made joins between this KNA1, KNB1, and KNVB tables. And then in the semantics, selected the columns. Then default client is cross client. So we validated, activated your attribute views. So you see the job here, it is successful. Now go back, go to your data preview. Raw data of your attribute view, it is not showing any data. What might be the reason? Let's do some R&D. Let's go to each and every table. Right click on the table, pick the data preview of the table. Go to each and every table, right click and say pick data preview of KNA1 table. It has got 0 records. Go to your KNB1, go to the data preview. So it has got data. Perfect. KNB1 is having data. KNVV might also have the data. The reason is KNA1 is not having any data. So I can do one thing. Guys, you can go and reload the tables, okay, from using DS, but I already have a KNA1 table in other schema. If you say go here, remove your KNA1 table now. I removed KNA1 table. I'll check, I'll add my KNA1 table from another schema. I have KNA1 table present in a lot of schemas. Now we added KNA1 table. So let's join your KNVB with KNA1. So these are the columns I picked from KNA table. I selected the required columns in the semantics tab. Okay, I select my customer number as a key column, so it will be the central table. View properties, cross client, default client always. Activate your attribute view again. So now let's go back to the data preview. Refresh your data preview. Here you can see my cursor, refresh, right corner. So now you see the data here. Super. So now you can see company code, account, authorization group is having question marks, no data. Question mark means blank. Then you see sales organization, so division, sales group, so creation date, client, customer number, country, city, and region. Where is address? Select address also, guys. Here, address. Select one more column and activate. Go here, go to your data preview. Now you see address also. So now you can see the data in your attribute view. So now we successfully created an attribute view. Okay. So the join we used is inner join. Okay, now let's speak about another type of join we have in SAP HANA, that is referential join. Okay, so we do have another type of join in SAP HANA, that is like a referential join, same like an inner join. Okay, so what is the difference between referential and inner join means? Okay, referential join and inner join both are similar in terms of so referential join and similar inner join are similar in terms of functionality. Okay, but you can say referential join gives better performance, not in all scenarios, better performance in some specific scenarios. Not in some scenarios, both inner join, referential join are same, but in specific scenarios, referential join is better than inner join. Okay, so generally when you are connecting, when you're joining master data with transaction data. Okay, so I can say referential join gives better performance while joining primary key with foreign key. As I can say, referential join gives better performance while joining primary key with foreign key. Okay. Generally, now what is the difference between primary? Okay. Okay, means for suppose I take a product table, guys. I give a simple example. What is the joining in between primary key to foreign key? Okay. So generally master data table to transaction data table. I can say in brackets, I give it as when you're joining a master data table with transaction data table. So in these scenarios, referential join works better. Okay, in remaining scenarios, inner join and referential join both are same. So referential join, okay, gives better performance, has referential integrity, I can say. It has got referential integrity and gives better performance in specific scenarios. So referential joins gives better performance while joining primary key with foreign key, especially mass data table with your transaction data tables. I'll give a simple example. See here, you got a product mass data table, guys. In the product mass data table, you got product ID, product name, etc. So in product mass data table, product ID will be a primary key. Am I correct? Product ID will be a primary key. Am I correct? So every new product, suppose your company got 20 products, so your product master data table will have 20 records, 20 different products. So it has 20 records. Okay, now you got a sales transaction data table. So in that we have 1 million transactions happen. Okay, so obviously when you're selling something, what you sell the product, right? So even your sales transaction data table will also have a product column. Okay, in the product column in product master data table is a primary key. It is a primary key in the product mass data table, but product column is not a primary key in the sales transaction data table because there might be a lot of transactions with on same product. It will not be a primary key. In that case, it's a foreign key. So whenever if you want to join your product mass data table with sales transaction data table, so you always pick the common columns, right? What is the common column here? Product is the common column. Product ID or product name is the common column. Use that column to link your master data, product master data table with sales transaction data table. But the same product ID column is a primary key in the product mass data table, whereas it is a foreign key in the sales transaction data table. Okay, so when you're making this kind of join, so we prefer a referential join. Okay, okay, so when you're joining anything, your primary key with your foreign key or your mass data table with a transaction data table, okay, we always prefer a referential join, guys. Always we use a referential join. So because in these scenarios, why we use referential join is, so generally the simple stuff you can say is, guys, if master data, if there is no product maintained in the product master data table, you are not supposed to create a transaction in the sales transaction data table. Am I correct? So suppose your company has products from A to X, A to product X, you have 25 products. So whenever you're performing any sales transaction, you have to choose any one of these 25 products, or you can choose multiple also. So can you make a transaction on product Y? Can you directly create a product Y during the transaction and create a transaction on product Y? It is quite impossible, right? How can a customer create a new product, guys? They can purchase that existing product, but he cannot create a new product, right? So master data is never maintained by the customer. So master data is always internally maintained by the team. Am I correct? So master data, I can say master data is always maintained internally by the company or by the organization. Master data is always internally maintained. Okay, we never maintain, so customers cannot create a new master data. So they can use the existing master data for posting the transactions. Suppose, guys, I give a simple example. So I take a simple example of Book My Show. Okay, a new movie is released. Guys, a customer can go directly at the movie and book a ticket. No, right? What do we do? So that movie has to be added by the team internally. Then you can start booking on that movies. Your movie is a mass data, so it has to be done by the company. So generally, Okay, so when I take an example, I come back to the example of product and sales. So if product is not available in the product master data table, then a customer cannot create a transaction on that product in the sales transaction data table. Okay, so that is what we call it as referential integrity. Okay, when you're joining your master data with transaction data tables, it is always said that it is always preferred that, okay, so if there is no master data maintained in the master data table, then we cannot create a transaction on the then we cannot create a transaction in the transaction data table, right? If not master data is maintained, we cannot create a transaction on the transaction data table, right guys? So what is this referential? What if you take an inner join, what happens is it will check the data from both the tables. But what referential join do is it will check, okay, it will go to product master data table, pick the first product and get all the records in the sales table having that product and show them in output. Then go to the second product in the table, pick all the records from sales transaction data table, go to third product, like that. So here in referential join, checking happens only in single table, whereas in inner join the checking happens on both the tables. Okay, so that was a major difference between your referential join and inner joins. As referential join, okay, checks and pick the data only from the master data table. Okay, so it gives you better performance when it compared to the inner join. But this performance improvement is visible only if you're making a join between primary key to foreign key, only if you're making a join from master data table to the transaction data table. In remaining scenarios, differential join and inner join are same. Only in this specific scenario, differential join gives you better performance over the inner join. Clear everyone? But master data to transaction data joins are, you find it very heavily in the modeling. Okay, at least 50% of the joins are between master to transaction data tables. Clear everyone? Clear so far?
Yes, sir, clear.
Others? Okay. So that's a differential join. So left outer join, you know, common data plus additional data in the left table. Right outer join, common data and additional data in right table. I'll show it out. Okay. So as of now, I joined these all three tables are master data tables only. So I preferred inner join, guys. Even though you select this join as a differential join, nothing happens. Both are same because it's a mass data to mass data join. So there is no extra improvement by taking a referential join. Okay. So that's one thing. So if anyone asks you what is the difference between a referential join and inner join, referential join and inner join both are same in terms of functionality, but referential join maintains referential integrity. So this will be helpful in improving the performance when you're joining master data with transaction data tables, when you're joining from primary key to the foreign key. So text join I'll discuss clearly. Okay, I'll cover all the types of joins, and so we have a lot of sessions in the modelings. When by the time I complete the sessions, we will be using all kinds of joins. As of now, I created a inner join. So now what I do is I go with hierarchies under SAP HANA. Guys, you got two types of hierarchies in SAP HANA. So the first one being the level hierarchy. Okay, and second one is something like parent-child hierarchy. First one is level hierarchy and second one is something like parent-child hierarchy. So today we'll go with the hierarchies part. Okay, and then still see guys, so this hierarchies, whatever I'm discussing now, the joins, whatever I'm using now, so they will be same for analytic and calculation use also. Okay, so whatever we using here now, so they will be they are same for analytic calculation use also. I'm not going to repeat them again. Okay, now first start with the level hierarchy. So level hierarchy means something like arranging in levels. Let me show you a level hierarchy. There you go. This is your level hierarchy, guys. For suppose you have a company. This company is operating in two regions, North America and Asia Pacific. Under North America, it is operating in two countries like US and Canada. In Asia Pacific, it's operating in Japan, India, and China. So then under countries, you see cities like New York, LA, Houston, right? Okay, so then under the cities, you have store A, store B in New York, store C in Los Angeles. Okay, store D and E here. So like that, you can see here in Japan, you have city Tokyo. In India, you have Hyderabad and Bangalore. In China, you have something like Beijing and Shanghai. So this is like a level hierarchy, guys. This is something like a level hierarchy. Okay, the first level is something a company. That's a parent level, top level. Then second level is region. Third level is country. Fourth level is city. Fifth level is store. So this is like a 5-level hierarchy. Okay. So now these are 4 objects arranged in form of a hierarchy. Okay. So this kind of hierarchy we call it as a level hierarchy. Okay. So this kind of hierarchy we do call it as a level hierarchy. Okay. Clear? So arranging in levels, guys. In organization you have employees, right? So top you have management, top level management, then bottom level management, then you have team leads. Okay, then we have something like senior developers. It's like a hierarchy. So this is a store level hierarchy. The products will have a hierarchy. For suppose you have your company is operating in 3 sections. They have products in food and manufacturing, they have products in beverages. For suppose they have products in something like, okay, beauty products. So they have different categories. Okay. So then, for suppose my company is a FMCG company, they have 3 types of products: packaged food products. Okay, they have beauty products. Okay, and third, they have some beverages. So again, under beauty products, they have product A, product B. Under packaged foods, they have some A, B, C, like that. So this is like a hierarchy, guys. This is something I can say it as a hierarchy. It's a level hierarchy. Okay. So level hierarchy can go to n number of levels. There is no specific restrictions here. So let me build a level hierarchy for your HANA model. In fact, if you observe here, from K in A1 table, I have country, I have city, I have region, and I have address. I can build a 4-level hierarchy. Here, the top level is country, second level is region. Region means state here. Region means state. Third level is city, and fourth level is address. So let me build a 4-level hierarchy. Where I can build the hierarchy, I go to the semantics. Right now I'm seeing the columns tab of the semantics. I go to the view properties, and then third tab you have is hierarchies tab here. In the semantics we do have a hierarchies tab. In the hierarchies tab you see an option called, let's say, create a new hierarchy. Create new hierarchy. I pick the option create new hierarchy. So then the type of hierarchy, you have to choose between level hierarchy and a parent child hierarchy. I'm choosing it as level hierarchy. So the hierarchy, I give it a Z hierarchy underscore locations. It's a location based hierarchy, right?
Hello. Hello.
You can see here, guys. So given the technical name description for your hierarchy, the hierarchy type I choose in it as level hierarchy. Now there you can see the top level. I'm going with country. Country is land one. Land one means country. Then under country I pick region. Under region I have something like city. Under city I have something like address. So now I created a 4-level hierarchy here. Okay, so these 4 objects will be arranged in form of a hierarchy. So it's very simple, guys. Creating a hierarchy is very simple. Just provide technical name description, choose the type of hierarchy, and give the multiple levels in a hierarchy. Say okay. Now your location-based hierarchy has been completed successfully. Now let's say validate your hierarchy. Success. Let's activate your attribute view. Okay. So now if you go to the data preview and refresh, you don't see any difference here, guys. What are the hierarchy you created in HANA? You cannot see that functionality in HANA. Maybe once you create this, right, HANA is just a modeling solution. We cannot create reports or visualization where users can access this data. So we have to go for an external reporting tools like Vivo or Analytics Cloud or something. Okay, so I'll show you this hierarchies. I'll show you this hierarchy in the reporting tools. Better, I will show it in the reporting tools how this hierarchy is used. We cannot show here because this is just a raw data where developers view the data here. No end users will come and view the data in the raw data part. So as only we view the data, so it's not mandatory. It's you don't see a hierarchy based data here. Okay, clear everyone? We can create a hierarchy, but we cannot see the functionality of a hierarchy. How the data is arranged in form of a hierarchy. We need a reporting solution to show these hierarchies. I'll surely show them once I connect to the reports and create some stories on top of this HANA models. Okay, right. So that's about the level hierarchy. So now we'll go into the next part of hierarchy, that is nothing but parent-child hierarchy. Okay, so now let's begin with your parent-child hierarchy, the next part. Clear, right? Clear so far, right? The level hierarchy and everything.
Yes, sir.
I'm going with something like parent-child hierarchy. Okay, how this parent-child hierarchy works. Hey, just give me a minute, please. Just 1 minute. Get some water, and then I'll cover this parent-child hierarchy today. Okay, guys. So let's speak about this parent-child hierarchy. Okay, how this parent-child hierarchy works. Simple. Uh, so this is something like employee-manager relationship. Best example for parent-child hierarchy is employee-manager relationship. Your family is a parent-child hierarchy, right? Am I correct? Guys, you consider yourself. Okay, so you'll act as a parent for your kids and you act as a children for your parents, right? So that's like a parent-child hierarchy. So you, for suppose you are an employee, you have a manager, okay, and your manager also has a manager, right? So your manager acts as your manager acts as an employee for his manager and as a manager for yourself. So it's like, so employees has managers, managers has managers, and managers has managers. So in one way he's acting as a parent, in another form he's acting as a child. So this kind of relationship based hierarchy, we call it as a parent child hierarchy. So generally you see a lot of parent child hierarchies, especially when you're making reports on HR related models. If you're creating more HR kind of models in SAP HANA, so you have it. Okay, you have a tendency to see more. Just a minute, please. Right. So this is especially majorly when you're working on more of a HR models, you tend to see this parent-child kind of hierarchies here. Okay. You see more parent-child hierarchies, especially at the HR part when we are dealing with HR models. Okay, now let me. I don't have a tables which is having some employee and manager kind of relationship. What I do is I'll build. First, let me build a table. Okay, and I'll use the table to create my attribute view, and I'll create an employee manager hierarchy also in that attribute view. There you go. Catalog best is schema. So not best. So our schema is HANA 52, right? Let's go to HANA 52. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so there you have some 4 tables here. So let me create a 5th table. So right shift, let's say create a new table. I'm creating a new table here. That is something like employee underscore manager table. It's a column store table only. So first name is employee ID with integer type. Second one is employee name. That is varchar with max length 10. Then I can say manager employee ID. So that is again in integer. Manager name. That is varchar with max length 10 again. Okay, I'm creating this table with 4 columns. So let me write some data into this table. Go to the tables, right click, refresh. You see your table employee underscore manager. So let's say insert into I'm inserting into this employee manager table values. So employee ID, I just give it as something like 1001. Employee name Ram. Manager as employee ID 1011. Employee name John. So I have another employee that is 1002. This time it is Sam. So for Sam also same manager John only. Then I got something like 1004 Tom. So he got another manager 1012. That is like Robert. Okay. So 1007 something Tim. So he also has the same manager 1012, that is Robert. Again this 1011 John also has a manager here. Just a minute, something hanged out. Come on. So again 1000. So you can see here. So 1002, 1001 Ram and Sam has same manager. Tom and Tim has same manager. And John and Robert, who are acting as managers, they also have another manager. This kind of relationships we actually call it as parent childs. So let's save. So I'm writing the 6 records into this employee manager table. Okay. So now you can see the 6 records in employee manager table. Okay. Now, so what we do is, so these are the 6 records. Super. Now let's using this table. So let's create an attribute view. So I'm creating a new attribute view under this package, HANA 52 package. Right click. Let's say pick a new attribute view. I'm creating a new attribute view. So ZATR underscore employee underscore manager. So this time I go with a single table only. It's a single table I'm making. So let's say finish. Okay, so here I give something like employee underscore manager table. So from HANA 52 schema I give it. So I need all the columns. You can select everything manually, or you can right click on this table and pick the option called add all to output. Pick the option add all to output. So now I select all the 4 columns present in the table. So I'm just creating my attribute view on a single table. Yeah, I'm not making any join. So it's a key column, as you can select anything because it's a single table anyway. It's in the view properties. So as the table is created in the HANA system itself, I can go with session client. Then in the hierarchies, I create a new stuff called parent-child hierarchy. So this time I go with an option of parent-child hierarchy. So I give it as hierarchy underscore. So I'll do so here child is employee ID and parent is manager's employee. Or you can take child as employee name and parent as manager name also. So it's sorry, parent is manager's employee ID. Sorry. Okay, child is employee ID, parent is manager's employee ID. Say okay. So this is your parent-child hierarchy. I validate my model attribute view. It has got an error. So what is the reason for error? So double click on the error, double click, you'll get an option. So unable to, so if you double click on your error or message also, what is it saying? If you say go to the details, insufficient privileges not authorized. So this is like a security error. If you get any security error, please write this statement. Okay, grant. So please write this statement. Grant select on schema. So on what schema this table is present, you have to provide it. True. So what is the use of the statement? I'll discuss next level. I'll discuss when I'm doing my security part. So grant select of schema to sysrepo with grant option. Just write the statement. So only thing you have to change is you have to change the name of the schema. That's it, in which the table is present. Rest all same. You can copy this statement into your notes. Okay. So let's say why I written this statement, I'll discuss clearly. Okay. So now this is successful. So give the option called grant select on, then give the schema in which your table is present to sys underscore repo with grant option. Please copy this statement and let me know once you're done. This is very important. You copied. So now if you go to your attribute view, so let's again validate your attribute view. This time you don't get any privilege errors. Now it is warnings completed with warning. Super. Now let's say activate your attribute view again. So now activation is also completed successfully. This is validation first step. Second step is activation. You always see the recent step on the top. Now let's say go to your data preview. Now raw data. You see the data normally in a raw format. You don't see any changes here, but you can see them in form of hierarchy once you start creating reports on this data. Okay, once you start creating reports, then you can see this data in form of a hierarchy. So these hierarchies, whatever we design now, so they will be useful, they will be seen, okay, once you start creating reports on the HANA models. Okay, clear everyone? Clear so far? Okay, this is about building hierarchies. So that was the today's agenda: referential join and building the hierarchies in attribute views. Okay, so in the next class, in the tomorrow session, so we'll speak something about your calculated columns, and then we also in this at the same time we also start creating the analytic views also. Okay, right. So thank you everyone. Have a great day. Thank you so much.
Thanks.